Hey, it's Brian Mudd, and this is my cheat sheet for Thursday, August 30th. A look inside the economy. What's working, what isn't, where we're going. The Fed released its beige book yesterday. I'm not getting into all the economic dorkiness of what goes on in there, but they take a look at every region in the country and every aspect of the economy, and they tell you kind of what's going on. Here's the bottom line. A lot of what I've been telling you, especially regarding real estate, was once again confirmed. Just a day after we got the information for the latest Case-Shiller index that showed all 20 metros in the country improving in real estate for the first time in years. Well, in fact, yesterday the Fed confirmed, now they take a look at 12 regions around the country, that every one of the 12 regions in real estate showed improvement over the previous period they had been studying. And in fact, real estate is the single best performing aspect of the economy. So everything I was setting you up for back in January has played out to be true. And that also is one more reminder that if you are in a position to buy, you plan on being in place for a while longer, real estate is still what's working, still the best value proposition for you, including over renting. But beyond that, let's take a look at some more of the economy. Everything else is almost stagnant, with the exception of manufacturing, which is going backwards. In fact, manufacturing dropped half the country. Half the country, manufacturing stagnant. 6 regions, down, including Atlanta, which, by the way, is our region, which means that manufacturing throughout the Southeast is actually showing some slippage over the past 3 months. Not so good there. And what this all means, well, I'm going to work over the weekend on my latest economic forecast to give you an exact number, but it means that we're looking at 1% growth, 1 point something, for the remainder of the year. In other words, it's not getting better for the rest of the year. So, you know, you got to kind of take a look at the cards the way they are and figure out the best way to play this hand right now. All right, here's something that was really cool. And actually, this is something that Ashley and I were talking about when we were in Europe. All the different languages. Like when we were in Italy, you would come across 6 different languages. You get a lot of that in Europe anyway because you get so many countries that may have different languages associated with them in such close proximity that it's easy to hop from place to place. Now here in the States, you know, maybe you get some French if you go to Montreal, and if you head south, you'll get some Spanish. But that's pretty much it, unless other people come to us. And kids over there learn a lot of different languages. That's part of the reason why, as you've seen so much economic distress in countries like Greece and Portugal and Italy, you hear that 20-30% of the population flees the country to another country, like Germany, where the economy is much stronger. It's because they know the languages, and they can. And that's really what this gets down to. Researchers were trying to figure out what the impact on learning a second language at a young age was on children. Here's what they found. They studied 80 children that by age 8 had learned a second language. Here's what they found. Cognitive ability to deal with adversity was better in every one of those 80 over the average 8-year-old kid. And that could be the key, as we're for the first time in our country's history, in a period in which it's projected that our children will not do better than we did. This never happened in our country's history. But what they're saying is the cognitive ability at a young age to deal with adversity can set them up so that as they face further adversity in life and things aren't as easy maybe as they used to be to do well, that they'll be faster able to adapt and more flexible, including even needing to relocate or have the ability to operate on an international level with more language capability. So teaching a child a second language at a young age could be the key to their lifetime success. I thought that was pretty cool. And even if they don't retain the language, just the skills of adaptation they're developing at a young age. Here's an interesting one for you, and this is kind of cool, I think. If you need a job and you 4-year degrees off the table, here's the next shortage. It's coming with mechanics. Get this, the increase in need for mechanics over the past 2 years is up 17%. Now, it stands to reason. What have we been talking about the past few years? We're hanging on to cars longer. For example, just 4 years ago, the average length of time we planned on hanging on to a new car we purchased was 3 to 5 years. Now, we're saying 10 years. So it stands to reason that we need to have these cars serviced, right? So mechanics, we're now seeing a shortage around the country. In fact, there actually has been 10% wage growth over the past 2 years for mechanics because of this shortage. So here's the other cool thing about that. You could go to a trade school. In fact, there's one that I have on my cheat sheet that as long as you complete the trade school course, they are guaranteeing 100% job placement. Doesn't get a lot better than that. Go ahead and check that out. If you know anybody that needs a job that might be mechanically inclined, it's a great opportunity. I have plenty more on the physical cheat sheet, so I invite you to check that out today, including the waiting game for Apple and Samsung now to see what products are going to be pulled off of the U.S. market. That is the cheat sheet for today. Enjoy yours, and we'll see you tomorrow.